It's so good.
Here though, I would want to get your thoughts, but predictions alongside your.
Raptor, real quickly, do you know anything about this Freya revamped hero, and how do you feel like it? Because for me personally, I kind of like it.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with it too. We have seen the pro teams use the Freya to success other tournaments outside of the MPL. However, in this specific matchup, it's a big toss-up for me. I can't really foresee. It's either a big 50-50, and that's because they're gonna be up against an Esmeralda. A lot of Freya skills, well, specifically two, I believe it's Spirit Ward, the second skill, and Valkyrie Descent, the ultimate, generate shields that Esmeralda can just eat up. And speaking of our girl, not a good start there for our Freya. SGD Omega really have to watch out for Kel VJ's Esmeralda, because that is, other than the carry of course, if the Esmeralda can pop off, then Toshi's gonna have a really hard time on that Freya, and already they get a kill there, a death there on their Freya.
Man, this is like that move. I would say I'll call probably the Hansel and Gretel maneuver from Sunsparks. I don't know if my fable knowledge is right, but what they did was Reflection just leaving the crumbs, and Freya actually Toshi stepped into the trap. It was laid down by Reflection, and Kiluwash was there with the high and dry. Even the best emblem to have in that situation. Now they want to go for Toshi, and again, man, this movements from Sunsparks. I mean, it's just so good.
Yeah, and they're really putting that Freya here, and just recalling the previous tournaments I watched, yeah, it was also SGD that would run Freya, if I'm not mistaken. So at least they understand that, yeah, okay, we have the Esmeralda who can theoretically counter up that Freya. We still can't allow that Freya any breathing room, so they're just applying pressure with her. Speaking of VJ getting pressured here right now by SGD, and that's gonna be a good trade here, but not really because they were. Oh no, they were able to. Yeah, Sunsparks at least though were able to get the turret in the bottom lane. So right now, yeah, you pointed it out. It's the movements of Sunsparks and not again Toshi. My goodness. They're really not giving this Freya and the rest of SGD any breathing room. Reflection able to see out Haze there, forcing it out, and the movement right now. Sunsparks has just been unstoppable with how they're covering the map, the resources, the lanes, everything. SGD Omega just trying to find the breathing room they need.
Man, I will talk about this in a bit, because I think that this clash is already done. Alright, so I want to just say that Sunspark, that was a masterful move, okay? Went down to get a kill out of the bottom. It didn't matter if they... It wouldn't matter, I mean, if they get the kill or not. They got it even. But the fact is, they were able to snatch the red buff. Reflecia moving... I mean, having the movements on the first levels, I mean, if you recall, Reflecia was able to scout out someone that's taking the red buff for SGD Omega, and because of that, they know exactly when this red buff will spawn once again, and they were able to pressure SGD Omega, even Reflecia committing his ultimate, his wild charge, not to get kills, but to actually stop SGD Omega from moving to that point. And I think that's very important. Now, Reflection with the Grok block into the wall charge, and they get the kill on the Atlas. They want to go for more. JP is hurting the members of SGD Omega at this point. I mean, 2-0-1 on JP's carry. It's just 4 minutes in, but SGD Omega is still in a world of hurt.
And it's crazy how Reflection is using the Grok right now. If you just saw that, he immediately chased out Haze. Once that feathered airstrike was done, or when it was about to finish, Reflection showed up, charging up that power of nature, and then Haze was just like, nope, I'm out of here. No, I'm out. So that's the stuff that you want to see from your tanks, being able to box out carries, or well, technically the supports here on the side of SGD, and still we're seeing not giving them any breathing room with how they're rotating and how aggressive they're playing against this lineup that SGD Omega brought to the table. That allows your team to buy time from hopefully by the time that SGD Omega is ready to engage, because their Farsa has been leveled up, then you're well ahead in terms of the resources. And looks like that's probably where we're headed in this game, with Sunsparks just the pressure. Yeah, Feather Ashes, but still Haze here hasn't had enough room to breathe. So does Toshi, and even the just really trying to farm, but it's still a really big catch-up game because of just how well Sunsparks has been applying the pressure throughout the map.
And you can see, you know what, they're applying pressure in the map. Like, it's the most pressure when it's the red buff, but before that, Haze gonna be pummeled by Sunsparks as they want to go and steal this blue buff. There's gonna be the Kaja punished by SGD Omega, but another kill happening in here as they take out Haze. So that's a 1-for-1, but JP says, okay, we don't actually look for kills. We are looking for this buff, this serpent buff. We want to take it for ourselves. Kilu's jumping, just some shielding in there to not be damaged by the buff. And again, Sunsparks, these people, they're goal-oriented, man. They're like the leaders of a corporation. They don't care about kills. What they have in mind is to get the buffs. They are getting red and blues all together. In SGD Omega, they're famined in terms of the red buffs. And I'm telling you, you don't want to be a Ling without a buff. Lings without buffs, they're like minions who can jump through walls.
And just the absolute respect as part of the lineup they're up against. They knew they had to be aggressive. They knew they had to starve them of the resources of the buffs, and that's just what they've been doing. We are just about to hit the 7-minute mark in this match, and Sunsparks haven't given up just yet. SGD still cannot at all find the momentum they need to find because of the pressure that they've been feeling all around the map. And what's scary is, even at this point, JP, the carry for Sunsparks, is already level 11, 2-0 and 1. Reflection, he gets top. Back, he's in a bad spot here. If they can get a kill, that might be really good. SGD Omega using the feathered airstrike for the zone. JP still gets the kill, able to take out the Freya, and now Sunsparks are turning this fight around. KLVJ, JP, and Greed forcing SGD Omega back, and it's bad. That's a really good pickup, but still, the Reflection was able to. Reflection was taken out there, but man, Toshi, still not being able to find any room that he needs. SGD Omega, yeah, they're at this point where the can do is really just turtle, and hopefully the Link can find of the base. Although, however, that's going to be another good kill there by Sunsparks. They take out Kenji this time with the Divine Judgment coming in from Greeds.
I am lost for words. Sunsparks, these are beasts. They came out to play, Reptar. They're ballers now. And now another again. The buffs being stolen. No buffs for you, SGD Omega. Sunsparks, this is their map. This is just wonderful to see. I mean, Raflesia able to survive that even after being tossed. This is because of the sprint. This is usually you want to go for flicker or like something like Purint on Grok, and was able to run away from the members of SGD Omega, attacking through it all. But also, this is the fact that Raflesia and the rest of the gang survived that dive was because of the fact that SGD Omega, they're so underfarmed. I mean, if you give them a little bit of farm and that happens, they would have, that outcome would be totally different. As Haji Z, masterful move actually to get away to safety. Guardian's barrier, okay, Raflesia, just to stop the recall. It's a little bit annoying. And again, buffs don't belong to SGD Omega anymore.
And the SGD Omega team that went 2-0 against Bren, like last week.
Yeah.
This is a big statement here by Sunsparks, but I gotta agree with Swarley that this might be the first game, 3-game series for throughout the day, because it's SGD Omega. They are, without sugarcoating it, despite their placement at the table, one of the favorites to possibly make it to the finals, maybe even win the championship at the end of the season. But we're seeing Sunsparks is just proving their case that, hey, we can probably go back to back. You know the intro that said we've never seen a two-time champ? That might be Sunsparks, and this is a hell of a statement they're showing. If I'm SGD Omega, I'm gonna either consider banning out the Grok in the or keeping it up for grabs, because the Grok being placed here for Sunsparks really empowered their strategy of roaming and going around this, because that's what Grok can provide for your team. That since early in the game with some really fairly overly decent damage from that power of nature, and at this point Reflesh just going 3-on-1 and he doesn't mind.
Yeah,
it's fine for him.
This is like the prime Grok usage. By the way, in that middle part of the map, you can see he's near a turret that's already taken down, right? But he will respawn back as KLVJ annihilates members of SGD Omega. 2-for-1 trade-off and another Divine Judgment. Uranus, not even tacky at all. KLVJ with that dives. Falling Star Moon, and JC can't even retreat to his own fountain because he will be taken up by KLVJ for sure. This is Sunsparks' game, and they will take it.
Wow, the percussionist tambourine player of the 515 band, Esmeralda, just playing a tune right. GD Omega cannot catch up with KLVJ without to worry about that, and now because of this considerable lead, yes, SGD Omega are really worried Sunsparks might be able to finish this mega kill there for the carry already. Sunsparks monster kill there. Freya gets taken out. SGD Omega might be taken out next, but they got down with Esmeralda. But it's too late. Sunsparks dominating one-sided performance, really one-sided performance by the defending champions over SGD Omega.
Sunsparks saying, you can't be cheesy.
It's okay.